All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining in today. Today in the presentation, we have Alan, our founder and president of Navazon Inc., David Ruff, a senior account manager, and then myself, Patrick Oda, an account manager and digital content manager. Alan, do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Amazon continues to change. With the agenda, we've updated since our last presentation. We want to provide each month monthly updates to you about Amazon and its COVID response. It's seen a lot of changes over time and now is stabilizing internally as well as with its staff. We'll cover Q4 planning today with retail readiness updates that we've seen and provide what we see as Amazon the frontier. We're creating new tools and programs to make sure that our clients' businesses are going strong and avoiding the current pitfalls on Amazon and new pitfalls that we've been able to identify. And we'll end with questions and answers as well. So it's just starting out with quick updates and COVID response. Amazon remains, as people are calling it, a stay-at-home winner, with e-commerce sales continuing really strong despite COVID, economic and employment worries. We're surrounded by negative news in many cases, everything from the increasing number of cases to rising unemployment. However, there is positive news in terms of more people returning to their jobs as companies are jump starting again or returning to work and adjusting their processes so that more people can go to work. Amazon, as one of those options, remains strong. We are seeing sustained ordering for our current clients and a strong interest from new companies starting business with Amazon. So companies that previously hadn't thought about going online or not selling on Amazon are realizing that they want to be in front of a lot of customers, and a lot of customers today are joining the online space as never before. There is a rumor that Amazon is considering mall spaces for fulfillment centers. The media has really been picking up on that a bit, especially recently. That, though, is somewhat of an old rumor. Sears, for many years, has been seen in the media as a takeover target for Amazon and a way to have Amazon create pop-up fulfillment centers. They, in fact, have not done this yet at a large scale, but are and have done it for local areas, especially areas such as Seattle or Los Angeles, where they need to expand their fulfillment center capability or have exposure to larger populations. Amazon is doing that in a targeted way, and it has been doing that for a while. That they have a pop-up center here in Seattle. They had one while they were just prior to digging up the ground to create a new Amazon building, and they stored 25,000 different SKUs in that area that they had analyzed to be able to deliver products on those 25,000 much faster to people in the surrounding Seattle area. So I can continue to expect them to do that on a small scale, but haven't seen them do it on an extremely large scale yet. But it does deliver faster products for customers. Overall, Amazon's growth continues as consumers buy from home and to minimize human contact. The reopening that we have been seeing ever since March 23rd, where it's down in the left-hand corner, there were many states that were closing. We're actually seeing that many states have reopened. Many are reopening, some are pausing, and some are reversing. However, even in a reversal and a pausing, this is an improvement since March 23rd, as states and economies start to figure out how to adjust to the situation as each individual situation in the states develops. That's a unique thing with this, is that every state is experiencing a different impact. Overall, with new vaccines and testing being noted, we expect that this reopening will continue. It will be adjusted as cases spike, but we're also seeing better therapeutics such that the cases can be treated better. So we continue to expect not only sustained growth on Amazon, but also a returning of economic growth and consumers overall. very rapidly, we're moving into Q4, and Q4 is a very big piece for Amazon, so we wanted to provide some updates and information about that today. Prime Day, which is the largest day potentially with Amazon in the past, it's even crossed 2 days, and in some periods a longer portion of 2 days. The initial reaction or idea is that the second or third week of October was when Prime Day had been moved. It's been moved repeatedly. The date that has been put out there that we've heard is October 13th. However, we are now hearing rumors of canceling Prime Day. And it makes a little bit of sense due to overlapping periods with specific category events such as home and others, having events in October or back to school periods. Another reason that they might consider canceling Prime Day is perceptions of overloading their system and increasing risk of COVID to employees internally if they have a really high surge time. With the continuing demand, although Amazon systems are set up to be able to deliver on the surge that a Prime Day would create, we're seeing an increase in the rumors that may not be a good idea internally, and that they may just try to run the existing promotions. In any case, we'll continue to bring you updates. Right now, it's October 13th is the plan, and we're suggesting that clients plan promotions around that period or over that period if you choose to do it with the best deal.
Okay, so I'm going to bring you some updates that are new to Vendor Central first. So very first thing within Vendor Central is that there's a new main page. The screenshot here to the right is actually the existing main page that you would get when you log into Vendor Central, but they rolled out a new one, and I'll show you a screenshot here of that in a second. It's not rolled out to every single account yet, so you still might be able to log in and see the older one, but basically what's going to be different here is that they've actually removed most of the required actions section, so where it says the number of cases needing attention, if you have any POs that still need to be confirmed, quick links, and then in the top scorecard, where it's basically saying PO on-time accuracy, ASN accuracy, prep issues. All that has been removed now on the newer homepage. The newer homepage now just focuses mostly on things that Amazon wants you to pay attention to, which has to do with bulk buys and then lost and suppressed listings. So it's all cost related. So basically they're showing you listings and telling you lost the buy box this, review your costs. We're not placing POs for this, review your costs. And you'll see that in the next example. It does, though, still show the news articles. So it shows the most recent ones from Amazon, and you can click to see more. Okay, so here's what the new screen looks like. So if you haven't seen this in your account, it's going to be rolling out shortly. It is rolling across the U.S. and across Europe as well. Like I said, it hasn't made it to every account that we work on yet, but it's starting to go to all these. And as you can see here, Amazon is focusing on the things that they want you to pay attention to, which is mostly all cost-related issues. You can, of course, go past this screen and navigate to anything else, but this is now what will pop up when you first go here. The next thing that Amazon's got that's new is the financial scorecard. So this is a new section underneath operations. Underneath operations, you would see financial scorecard that's there. This is actually pretty neat. It's still having some bugs. There's still some defects. So if you start clicking on some of the links, you'll find that they might not work. But what's neat about it is it's starting to show now the missing invoices that you have, shortages if you have any of those, and then also supply chain defects. The time frame right now is that in the long term they want it to go back 24 months, but right now it's currently only going back until 12/01/2019. The main thing though to pay attention to is the missing invoice and shortages, and I've got slides to show you what that looks like, but it's really nice because you can identify what you need to go back and basically bill Amazon for, or you need to correct. And so here's an example of the missing invoice slide. I did remove the part where it told you whose account this was, so that's why there's some blanks here on the screen. But again, it's letting you go back all the way to 12/01/2019, and it's actually giving you the PO there. You can see there's a little link. If you actually click on that link, it's dead. It doesn't take you to it. But this will tell you exactly which PO, which ASIN you need to go back and you need to actually bill for yet, and get Amazon to pay you essentially. So that's the nice part rather than having to identify that yourselves. The next thing here is the shortages. So same thing here. These links are currently dead. They're taking you to a dead page on the accounts that I've been looking at. So that's one of the bugs that is not working yet. But same thing. This is showing you what exactly is a shortage on, what the ASIN is, and how much money you're owed. The next thing that I'll touch on is some of the chargeback changes that we've had. So One of the chargebacks that Amazon's going to be implementing, so this is actually, if you go and look at your operations scorecard, you'll be able to see that there. For all the accounts that I'm working on, it's currently listed as 0, so it doesn't look like it's been implemented just yet. But Amazon is, of course, doing a soft rollout of this, where they're not going to charge you and they're going to show you what's happening. This chargeback, though, is going to be for pickup accuracy for any collect shipments. So what's happening here, basically, so it's going to get implemented later in 2020. Amazon hasn't assessed an amount yet for the chargeback, but I mean, normally they do a percentage or they do a flat fee. They do a flat fee for like canceled pickups and things like that of $250. So it's probably going to be something similar there, where they'll either do a percentage for about 5% or 3% of the order, or just do a flat fee overall. What essentially is happening here, though, is that Amazon's saying that you have until 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the day prior to the scheduled pickup to reschedule that pickup if you can't accommodate the time. If you do it after 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the day prior, then they're going to issue you this chargeback. Again, no amount has been decided yet. And then the other thing, too, is that within that time frame that they give you, the driver's got to be there on time, of course. But if the driver shows up there, and then if you don't get the load done within 60 minutes of their scheduled arrival time, you also could be assessed a chargeback. So they're basically saying that if you're slow and you're basically not giving the load to the driver in time, they're going to give you a chargeback as a result of this. So when this actually does hit, if you're a client of ours, we'll let you know that this is now happening, and then we can kind of monitor that and see if it's actually true, because we have noticed that whenever Amazon rolls out a brand new chargeback, a lot of times they're not always accurate, or they have problems within it, as you can tell with a lot of other things. So we'll want to take a look at that and see what's actually happening with all the accounts, if you work with us anyway, but make sure you're monitoring that going forward here. Another thing to note, if you do end up rescheduling, so if it's after your ship window has closed and you do end up rescheduling it, or it's within that 24-hour period before the ship window closes and you reschedule, you're going to get a chargeback then for rescheduling the pickup for that. It's going to come in with not delivering within your ship window, essentially. So even if you cannot manage this one, when this one actually starts coming out, you want to see which one is the difference between the chargebacks and see which one makes more sense, essentially, if this one ends up being less money than the other one. The other chargeback that's changing as well is a SIOC chargeback. So this is going to go effect January 1st, 2021. Originally, it was going to go in effect this year. Basically, what's happening here is that they're changing the minimum package dimensions. So what previously they had was anything that was a 9x6 by 0.375. It's now going to 6x4 by 0.375. So they're basically making it so a smaller package now is going to have to be required to be SIOC. It still has to be a non-sort package, though. So it's got to go to the non-sort fulfillment FC, and basically to go to non-sort there, you can see the dimensions, what that exactly is. Non-sort is based on the 18 by 14 by 8 dimensions covering packages. And so anything with least one side greater than 18, or its longest side more than 14, or medium side more than 8 inches, or shortest side and then greater than 20 pounds. So if you're 18 by 14 by 8, and if you're 20 pounds or greater, then you're going to go to a non-sort FC. So anything within there, and you need to now be at least below 6x4 by 0.375, or you're going to incur a chargeback. And you actually can see this in your operational performance scorecard. So you can go in there and you can look to see which ASINs are now getting this chargeback as well. And you can start working on getting those SIOC certified, or you can always switch those over to dropship. That's a $1.99 chargeback that's going to be happening there. The original date to start was actually August 1st, 2020, but it has moved to January 1st, 2021, as mentioned, due to COVID-19. The other thing that we've been noticing too on some of the accounts is we've had a rise in canceled dropship orders. We believe that this is mostly happening due to the increased demand. As more shoppers have switched to online, we've seen surges, of course, in purchase orders, and we've seen surges within the dropship orders too for products that go out of stock. Basically, this is just a reminder that you have from the ship by date on the order that comes in. If you do dropship or direct fulfillment, you have 7 days to ship that order after it by the ship by date. So you're going to get an order, and then you're going to have a ship by date, which is normally going to be whatever your lead time is. And then after that, 7 days later, it's going to get canceled. So day, chargeback if Amazon goes and cancels that order. So just keep that in mind. And if you can't fulfill an order, start trying to lower your inventory quantity available, or trying to make that happen, basically, whatever it is. so we don't end up getting both the canceled order and the $10 chargeback also. Next thing, as Al mentioned, so Prime Day is currently set to go October 13th to October 14th. Most of the deals, if you work with a vendor manager, the deals for them should be in the system. So for the BX, Getwise, the best deals, as Amazon calls them, or if you're doing like a deal of the day or a lightning deal, most of the agreements have started coming through already in the system. So that's actually how we end up getting the days for that. As of right now, we're expecting that still to be a go as the deals are there because they're going to be ordering the inventory. If we do hear anything, as Al mentioned, we will let everybody know on these calls. Or if you're a client of ours, we'll let you know sooner than that. One thing though to consider that even two things actually, if you're running a Prime deal or you're not running a Prime deal, you want to consider a coupon. So if you're running deals through the VM already, then you probably already have a best deal set up or so. But outside that, you can still run coupons during that time period if you can't submit anything to the category anymore. If you're running a coupon for the deal period, you need to select Prime only for that coupon. It will actually be within the template there, and that way Amazon will know that for this period here, it's going to be for Prime Day. It's for that Prime period. If you don't select that, the coupon will actually get turned off during Prime Day and won't display it. If you don't select that though, that's not a big deal if you're running it for like the whole month and you don't necessarily care about Prime Day because you'll still be running it for the entire time period. But it would be a better idea to do there anyway is to run a coupon prior to Prime Day and then run a coupon only for Prime members during Prime Day, and that way you are taking advantage of that extra traffic. Another thing that you can do if you don't like the coupon idea or don't want to do coupons, you can always do promo codes too. If you have a social media platform, this is a good way to try and drive traffic there, advertising it back to Amazon. You can just give them your promo code that you've got. After Prime Day, we've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so keep that in mind when you're scheduling things coming up, especially if you're doing AMS or you plan on doing some AMS, make sure that you build enough time in order to get those campaigns optimized. And then the other thing here is one of the key things to stress about a promotion is it's one of the levers to grow your Amazon business. So the main equation here is revenue is equal to price times traffic times conversion. A lot of people, when I talk to clients about promotions anyway, they don't like the idea of it because they're saying, well, we're giving a client a discount. Why would I do that during this peak time period when we're getting more traffic anyway? But the goal on Amazon when you're running a promotion like this is to improve your sales ranking within the search algorithm. And once you improve your search ranking within that algorithm, you're just going to get more organic sales. So think about it like that. Like this is a drive in order to improve that search rank, not to give customers a discount and lose out on your margin. Okay, so talking just about levers. So this is just a good reminder here on the levers to grow your business. This is all about promotions, really, is why we have this in this section. But what's happening, so the levers that you have in order to grow an Amazon business is basically you have an offer. So if you don't have your product listed on Amazon, you can't sell it. You can't get any sales. So make sure you have an offer. Make sure you have that offer set up, especially as we're going into this promotional season of Prime Day and Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Get those offers set up now and get all the details ironed out. You want to have inventory available. So Amazon's got that. You can either do it through dropship or direct fulfillment. If you don't like that program, you can also do Born to Run. If you've already got an offer set up and Amazon's buying that, promotions, one of the key things that I stress to clients that I work with is that promotions actually increase the available inventory to Amazon. So what happens if you run like a coupon prior to Prime Day, say you run it a month prior or a couple of weeks prior, Amazon will go and put a lift in their forecasting system to buy more inventory for that promotional period. And then that inventory will increase it in the forecast. And then so going forward, if Amazon keeps seeing that demand and you have Prime Day and then your demand increases even further, you're going to have more inventory available to consumers during that Prime period. Another thing also, a lever that you got is you want to improve traffic. So you can do that through Amazon advertisements, which is AMS. If you're doing that, as mentioned earlier, you're going to want to have those set up as soon as possible. You're going to need to have at least 2 weeks minimum just to even see some ad results. And then after that, you're going to want to start optimizing those campaigns to perform the best that they can. So start setting those up now before Q4 is upon us. And then promotions. A lot of people don't realize this or don't know about this, but the marketing team does send emails out if you do a promotion, so they will pick the best one. So they're not picking every single one, but you have a chance of getting one of those marketing emails and getting additional traffic. Even if you're not included in one of those emails, though, you do get picked up on the deal pages. You'll be on the Amazon deal page, and then it's also possibly picked up on the external deal pages such as Slick Deals or Fat Wallet. The other lever too is improving your conversion, so you can improve that with your content. So A+ pages, images, videos, bullets. detailed product information, titles, and then you're hitting keywords as well. So if you don't have those things on your products now, again, start getting that set up before we're in this promotional period, and then that way you're not trying to rush to get all this stuff done. It also helps if you do it now, because over time Google will start picking that up in their search engine, and then you'll have a higher ranking just because you have unique content on those Amazon pages. And then the very last thing to improve conversion is having the best available or the lowest cost. Amazon does its price matching, so they got pricing rules out there trying to scrape all the websites, find the best cost available to consumers. There's also software available to do price discounts if you're running through a 3P account, or if you want to do lost buy box in order to make sure you're always winning your buy box all the time to give the best price available to consumers, and 3P is not beating you. And then, of course, promotions are giving that discount too to improve conversion for that short period of time. So the main thing here, and why we're talking about this now, is because Q4 is a heavy promotional period, and promotions are a great way to improve your inventory, to drive additional traffic, and then drive conversion, which is going to give you more revenue. So, and then actually the graph at the right, so this is Amazon related, but it's what we actually see a lot of times at Amazon. So the blip, every time you see a higher rise blip, is actually Q4. So what happens normally is during Q4, you have this big sales potential and you have this growth, and then Q1 comes around and then you do drop in sales, but you actually are normally up higher than you were prior to Q4, so prior to Q3. So it's kind of like an all boats rising, and then that just can kind of continue with how Amazon works. So that kind of demonstrates why Q4 is so important, essentially. But in general readiness, ensure that if you do have dropship, or if you're using Born to Run, make sure you've got plenty of inventory for all your ASINs. Ideally, you're doing dropship, that we don't run any risk. If you're doing Born to Run, if that inventory doesn't sell, then Amazon does charge you that fee of 25%, or they send units back. So dropship, I would suggest doing that instead, and just making sure you have plenty of inventory loaded. It's extremely important during these time periods of these peak demand, because Amazon doesn't have enough inventory always. We know that they run less inventory because they're risk adverse. And if they have a surge in demand like that, they can shut off all your ASIN if they run out of inventory. So if you have dropship supporting that, that just gives you a little bit of a buffer for those periods. As I mentioned earlier about the coupons, because they do end up, basically Amazon ends up buying more inventory, run a coupon. What you want to do is actually run coupons prior to holiday promotional periods. So we know October 13th to 14th is going to be Prime Day. So if you run one like a week prior, say the 1st to the 7th of October or so, or the 1st to the 10th of October, what you're going to do there is Amazon's going to actually end up putting a lift in the system. They're going to buy up more inventory. And then during the promotional period, ideally you're getting more sales. And then we see on average actually about 55% during a promotional period of a lift. And then afterwards, you get a lift to 14%. But the key thing during a promotional period like that, if you're doing something beforehand, is that you're going to have this lift. You're going to gain sales rank within search, and then you're going to have this high traffic day. So you're already up higher in organic search. And then during that promotional period, you're going to sell even more. If you're doing something like that, though, normally what Amazon doesn't like is if you give a lower discount or the same discount during the promotional period. So if you're giving 20% off during Prime Day or Black Friday, Cyber Monday, maybe you only give off 5% or 10% during that period prior to it. And then, of course, with your AMS spend, normally increase it during the promotional period, but a lot of people don't think about beforehand. So again, if you're increasing your AMS spend beforehand, that's going to actually help your campaigns. If they're doing really well, that's going to increase their relevancy, ranking to Amazon. And then on top of that, if you're getting more traffic, ideally that traffic's still converting at a similar rate, and then that's also improving your sales rank. So again, the whole goal of doing this before the main traffic period is to improve search rank, so you'll get more organic sales, and then it should cost you less money through the promotion in the long run, and then just cause you to have that little blip there where you keep going up.
Nice. Thank you very much, Dave. So the next topic we're going to cover here is retail readiness, which is very important for your Amazon business, but especially when you are considering running advertising campaigns or promotional campaigns. Retail readiness is extremely important, both to monitor and to maintain. So Amazon's motto is to be the most customer-centric company in the world. And to do that, they're becoming the e-commerce company with the best content. So when we look at retail readiness, It's basically aligning with Amazon's customer-centric business model. So in these images here, when you consider the shopping experience for a customer in a store, you have the ability to go in, touch the products, look at it from different angles, use your imagination to see how that might fit into your room. And you could also hear what other people are saying about it. And when you're on Amazon, you don't have the luxury of getting to see it in person. So you're relying heavily on the images that are provided, the text that is provided, and the customer reviews. So being able to monitor that and update that for your account is extremely important when you go into start advertising and running promotions. Retail readiness is a collaborative and resource-intensive process, and it is also constantly changing. It's a moving target. Your content can be changed online at any point. Your inventory is always in flux. Customers are always leaving reviews. So having a system in place to consistently monitor and alert you for changes in your retail readiness is extremely important. So the things that Amazon's looking for in order to deem your products retail ready is that the inventory is healthy. So you got to have products in stock to sell to customers, and you need the text content to be correct. So descriptive titles, important information in the bullets, and good description in your description. They also want a 3.5 star rating and at least 10 reviews. The reason behind that is if you're going to search a product, and especially if you're advertising, you're going to be putting your product up against the top products on Amazon for the specific keywords you're searching for. So in a lot of categories, for a lot of search terms, the best product will have 10,000 reviews with a 4 or 5 star rating. So you want to make sure that your products are competitive, because customers are reading reviews and they're using that to base their purchasing decisions. So an important part of retail readiness is ensuring that your product has good customer feedback. You also want to make sure that you are using enhanced content and imagery. So having at least 5 images on your products and using A+ where available, and also that you are winning the buy box. If you have all of those, that would be a product that is retail ready. And again, this is something that is constantly in flux, so you need to make sure that you're monitoring it at an ongoing rate. It is a dynamic sequence of steps for successful brand presentation on Amazon. So at Navazon, we like to focus on your content, operations, marketing, which will in turn get our vendors sales growth, profitability, and brand excellence. Retail readiness is something that will affect your brand excellence, and it's also something that will aid in your sales growth. And having good retail ready products will increase the efficiency of your advertising campaigns, which would in turn make your account more profitable as a whole. In this graph, what we're showing here in this graphic is that these things are constantly changing. So whenever you look at your products, you got to understand, okay, is your content good? Has anything been changed? Is it retail ready? Okay, good. And then you got to look, well, how is your channel? Do you have third-party sellers who are selling your products on Amazon? Is there potentially counterfeits? There's sellers that have a lower price on your product, so you are losing the buy box. And then identifying roadblocks. So monitoring your retail readiness, content, and competition, understanding if there are additional sellers on your products. And then once you have made sure that your products are retail ready, you can then use Amazon advertising to drive traffic to your products. So in terms of the retail readiness content checklist, this is a screenshot of a detail page. And over on the left, we have the description of what Amazon would deem to be retail ready. And over on the right, we have each one of those things highlighted. So you can see this product has a good main image. It's got 5 alternate images. It even has a video. It's got a descriptive title. It has a 4.5-star rating, over 1,000 reviews. It's got 5 clear bullet points that iterate what the product is. It is over on the right. You can see that the product is in stock and that Amazon is winning the buy box. So that's what you're looking for when you're looking for a retail ready product. It is fundamental to running your advertising and marketing programs that your products are retail ready, but checking and maintaining this across your entire catalog can be extremely difficult. So in the tests that we've run, navigating to each page, if you're going to do it manually, would take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes to get all of that information copied down into a spreadsheet. So if you're looking at a catalog of 2,000 products, it could take a long time. It's a massive undertaking in order to do this across your catalog at scale. Which is why we have created a product that helps you monitor your retail readiness and identify opportunities at scale. So we had about 2,100 products within our, so we call this product the Navazon Spotlight. If you're a current client, you may also know it as our content scorecard. Last month, we estimated that this saved about 182 hours of manual labor by analyzing content for our vendors. So right now we are going to take a look, a little demo of our product.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is our Spotlight, and what this is showing us is at your catalog as a whole. So we have sort of redacted some of the information so that you can't identify which accounts are within this product. But what it is showing you is across your entire catalog, where is there room for improvement? So this chart, if you were to be all the way out on the edges, that would mean that you had 5 bullets on all your products, 5 images on all your products, an A+ page on every single product, and a 5-star rating on every product. That would be a perfect catalog. And that is where every single product would be retail ready. So everything that is outside of the curve is opportunity for improvement that you could do for your brand. The way this is broken out is that each different color is a different brand for this specific vendor, and we're able to look for opportunities for each brand. So this is our content scorecard. Right now we are looking at the number of images, the number of bullet points, the length of your description, whether or not the product has an A+ page, whether or not it has a video, its average star rating, and the total number of reviews. And from that, we are creating a content score that can then be applied to each product and your catalog as a whole. One of the things we had just gotten done talking about is retail readiness. And so in this, we have the ability to sort products that are either retail ready and they are good to be advertised or included in a promotion, and then products that are not yet retail ready and could use some improvement. The other charts in here show the number of bullet points, so you could zoom in on each product or product set that has 2 bullet points, that only has 1 bullet point, and it allows you to filter your results so that you can then pick these individual products and update their bullet points or add more images or add A+ to it. We also are tracking this over time. So historically, you would be able to go back to any month and you could see how your content scores are improving over time. Another aspect that we've added to this is a tier, which allows you to create custom tiers for your products. So for one vendor in particular, they had a ABC tiering system where they looked at their top 10 products in tier A, their next, it was a band based on revenue of the product. So their top 10 was tier A, and then tier B was all the new products that they had added, and tier C was all of the existing or legacy products. So having a screen like this allows you to look at and identify large areas for opportunity, but it doesn't give you really an idea of what the specific wording is. So we've added a section for the live content. So this shows you at the time of the parse. So this was updated August 11th. It shows you what was the actual live content on the detail page. And this can save you a lot of time if you're used to going to each product individually by searching the ASIN on Amazon. It allows you just to straight from the screen, you can export the data, look at it in a CSV, process it how you want. It would also allow you to export it, make changes, and then you could submit your changes to your account manager, who would then upload the new content to Amazon. Another area that we're looking is for large issues, and these are things that can cause a loss in sales, which over time could decrease your customer demand and cause a reduction in purchase orders. So if our parser will check to see if the product is actually suppressed. So I've blocked out all of the actual ASINs and titles of these, but this table will show you the exact products from this past parse that were suppressed. It also checks their buy box, so it can see if the buy box is currently unavailable or if you are losing the buy box. And then we also look for things that will, this can cause the product not to be available in search, and a customer is not going to buy a product with a missing main image. And then these are opportunities for improvement. So if you have less than 5 bullet points, just by adding more text to your detail page, you can make your products more relevant, which will help out your advertising campaigns and can help your organic search relevance. And then it's very difficult to get traction on a product with no reviews. So that is just an area where by improving or getting new reviews on your product, it will help it out both organically and in your paid search. Now we're into the questions and answers portion.
I see that there's 2 questions from Dana, so let me go over those real quick. One of the questions that Dana's got here is, it says pickup accuracy for collect shipping. What happens when the trucks don't show up? Every week we deal with this. So the way that the chargeback is supposed to be working, according to Amazon, is going to be GPS based. So if the truck never shows up at your or your warehouse, then you shouldn't be getting it at all. That should be on Amazon's fault at that point. Either way, you'll want to open a ticket if the truck doesn't show up, and then get Amazon to come and pick it up again, or reschedule the pickup time for that. I've seen that with other clients as well, where they don't pick up and you just have to go in and reschedule it, or you can call an OC and talk to somebody in real time and get them to reschedule the pickup for that. Unfortunately, that's something that does happen with Amazon. That's also another reason why you do want to be monitoring the chargebacks so as they come out, because if Amazon is issuing them for a truck that doesn't show up, that's something that we need to go and we need to dispute and then start putting tickets in, because Amazon needs to correct that process in or stop the chargeback completely. But again, it is supposed to be GPS based, so if they don't show up to your warehouse, then you shouldn't be getting the chargeback at all. The second part he's got here is to go over dropship on the canceled orders due to increased demand. And so that's really exactly what it is. Basically what we're seeing is we're seeing increased demand due to COVID-19, like we've seen with the increase in purchase orders. That demand is transferring over to dropship or direct fulfillment. And then what's happening there is the demand's gotten so big that a lot of the clients can't keep up with it, or they can't keep up with it. Basically, they are letting the orders go for a longer period of time instead of shipping them by the ship by date. And then what we're just doing as a reminder is you've got, by that ship by date, you've got 7 days, and on the 7th date, the order is going to get canceled by Amazon automatically. So if you don't mark it as shipped, within 6 days, essentially, the 7th date's going to come around, Amazon's going to cancel the order, and you're going to get a $10 charge back. Addition to that, it's especially important if you do ship the order and you're doing this all by hand. So if you're shipping the orders and then your team just can't keep up internally, but your warehouse is doing it no problem, you need to make sure that you go and cancel that, because what we've also seen with clients is that they will actually ship the orders, but then their internal team hasn't marked it as shipped just because they haven't got to it just yet. And then again, on that 7th day, it gets canceled. So now they're out the $10 for the chargebacks, plus they're out the actual order and the product cost as well.
Thanks, Dave. I kind of thought that's what you meant, but then for some reason, I was thinking maybe Amazon was canceling orders because they were getting too, and I missed something in the translation there, but you have cleared that up for me now. Thanks. Yeah, we have
Great.
raised it, so, by the way.
Okay.
Right on. Well, then we will move on to the key takeaways section. Alan?
Thank you. Great information, guys. As he mentioned, driving revenue and profit is very important to us for our clients, and that the price by traffic, by conversion are critical ways of doing that. And the content is the foundation on Amazon. So as you can see, with tools that are created, Patrick was stepping through there, are very helpful to get it at scale, particularly when you have hundreds of products or many products. Promotions, as Dave mentioned, and moving into Q4 are very important. It's an investment in the search rank for the future success of products. So that's why we want to highlight those two factors specifically today, and ways that we can help with that and are helping with it across the business. The promotions, as Dave mentioned, will drive Amazon orders in many cases because Amazon sees that it will expect to get greater demand. And then as that greater demand translates into purchases from Amazon's customers, it enhances conversion, which then feeds, again, Amazon seeing that product is more and more important. We're continually looking to enhance the tools that we provide to you to give you the best service possible and respond to how Amazon's changing. We look forward to continuing to give you updates each month, and appreciate you joining us today.
Right on. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. As always, a copy of the presentation and a recording of the webinar will be available on our website, navazonconsulting.com. And thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you. Great job.